Cansu Bulgu is going to be our speaker this evening. I have passed her beautiful space in Del Amo on Sundays when we go walking there, and it was very intriguing. And there was a phone number on there, and I thought she'd be a wonderful person to present to us today. Many people in this group already know her from past experiences together. Just to let people know what she's doing now. She's a founder and the artist of the Sand Meditation and Janzu Art Gallery, which is in Del Amo, as I said. She's traveled the world in the last 10 years working with individuals and groups in this one-of-a-kind art farm and sand meditation technology. She continues to collaborate globally and offers in-person live stream and sand meditations, as well as teaching workshops and supporting of all aspects of well-being. And her space is really interesting. And now I'm going to understand a lot more of what's in that gorgeous space.
Right. Thank you. Thanks.
Hey.
Greetings.
Thank you. Thank you, Jane. Hello, everybody. How is everyone doing today? Good. Everybody's good. It's wonderful to see you all. I do appreciate the invitation. It's very kind of you. I'm very honored to be here and sharing with you today. So I would like to just take a moment, since we're all talking and sharing, just take some deep breaths together before I start sharing what I would like to share with you. As always, I prepared something, but we'll see how the flow of this sharing goes, and we will adjust as we go along. So there'll be some things that I'll share, hopefully to inform and inspire at the same time. So my name is Cansu, as you know, and I've been working with sand meditation since 2010. Now I would like to invite you to a moment of relaxation as we get into the evening. So maybe close your eyes for a moment and take deep breaths. As we do this, notice how your mind may be racing, how your body might be feeling. Or you may notice that you are totally relaxed. As you keep your eyes closed, taking deep breaths, start to feel your body fully and completely. Starting from the top of your head, begin scanning your body. Relaxing your face, your neck, your shoulders, while keep your focus on the breath. Take 3 breaths in and 6 out. Count to 3, taking 3 deep breaths in. And exhale 6 breaths out. As we go down the body, focus your tummy. Relax your tummy. Your legs, knees, your feet. And just notice how you're relaxing in this moment and are being more aware with every breath, more focused on your breath and aware of your body. Now we're going to do 3 deep breaths, and we're going to use them to release any thoughts, any discomfort, any energy that may be preventing you from being here and now fully. We're going to do this using the breath. I'm going to show you. Inhale and exhale with a sigh. Ah. Are you ready? We're going to do first inhale, exhale out. Ah. Keep breathing. One more time. Deep inhale. Exhale out. Ah. Releasing anything that's preventing you from being here and now. Keep your eyes closed. Relax your body. Last breath in. Exhale out. Ah. Check one more time. Your body, see if there's anything that needs more relaxation. Take one last breath and exhale out. Ah. Good. Perfect. Keep your focus on the breathing. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. How does everybody feel now? Better?
Very relaxed.
Wonderful. So I'm going to just invite you to perceive this sharing, not just through the five senses, but be open to perceiving it wholly. You will see what it means as we move along with it. So, unique contemporary fine arts and meditation. Some of you have seen this beautiful gallery. It's 8,000 square feet, right next to Nordstrom in Del Amo Fashion Center. And I get a lot of questions of, how did this all come about? So I'm going to answer them. And you'll be probably surprised to hear them. But it all started with a very heartfelt question. How may I be of service? This question came from me, from the depths of my heart, so powerfully that I found myself on the beach in 2010, beaches of Kauai, Hawaii, completely following an inner GPS, as you call it, being drawn these incredibly simple but intricate, familiar at the same time, mysterious sand drawings. And after my first visit of this sand meditation experience, not the first visit of Kauai, I had been there before, but the sand meditation experience, I knew there was something really special about them. So I waited to show these drawings to anybody for a while, kind of like the foundation of the house settling. Now, sand has been used across many cultures for eons. So I'd like to take you, before I go into John Suarez sand meditation, I'd like to take you on a mini tour and introduce you sand art throughout the world, especially you being an art supports group. I thought an artist, most of you, all of you really are, I thought you would appreciate this. So sand art has been used for healing, peace, purification, protection, blessings, happiness, a liveliness of the household, like wealth, abundance, and celebration. It's interesting, we started talking about the weather, right? And how wind affects us. Everybody felt a little bit tossed around today, is what you had mentioned. Most of you, that are in California. So sand represents all the elements, and our life is made up of all the elements. So it's not a surprise that a lot of the cultures have been using sand and weaving it into basically their everyday life in various forms. You have Native Americans, Tibetans, Indian subcontinent, throughout South Americans, indigenous Australians. They all have been working with sand in different ways. And mainly, it is to ask for something and to ensure the receiving of it. Just sit with this for a moment. Using the elements, work it with sand to ask for something and to ensure receiving of it. So let's take a look at Native Americans for a moment. Native Americans, particularly the Navajo and Pueblo Indians, do what's called a sand painting or dry painting. And they've been using naturally colored grains of sand. They pour it by hand. And it's made specifically for healing ceremonies. And what they do is they create these very specific drawings. They have a list of them that are passed down generations, actually. So it's repeated the same way every time. And what they would do is they would have the person who needed healing to physically sit on that sand painting. And then once their ceremony is complete, the person would get up and they would consciously destroy the painting, because they believe that the painting was a portal for the healing spirits to come in. And then once the healing was done, they wanted to make sure that whatever was transferred through into the painting is basically cleared, kind of like the illness that they were trying to remove from the person. So that was the way that they handled it, and they work with sand. And the artists were medicine men. Now let's take a look at Tibetans. You probably heard of or seen sand mandalas, quite beautiful, very intricate. They're also made from colored sand. Used to be more colored, crushed colored rocks. And they're very geometric, also used in more ceremonies and rituals. They do teach them in the monasteries, particularly the Buddhist monasteries. It represents the impermanence of life. You've seen them, they sometimes work weeks. And they use different kind of creation techniques where they use, instead of the hand, the small tubes and funnels as they kind of blow the sand out into the drawing. And they use these scrapers called chakras to, work with the sand. The way that the Tibetan sand mandalas work, mandala also means circle, right? So they do represent the circle of life. There is the impermanence. It's quite a ritual to witness. I don't know if you have, but I would encourage you to see it as well, because they do travel quite a bit as well. And so the artists for the Tibetan sand mandalas are the monks. Now we go to the Indian subcontinent, and it's called Rangoli or kolam, and it's made with powdered limestone, red ochre, which is basically it's iron oxide, earth, colored earth, and rice flour, colored sand. They have petals of flowers. They have colored rocks. So it's a combination of different things that they use, and they use it. It's really an everyday habit or everyday ritual that they do. They place them outside of their homes. These ones aren't always geometric. They can be very abstract. They can be figurative. And because they take quite a long time to create, they seem to want to do those more for the festivals and celebrations at this time. And the artists are the women and girls of the family. Now also men and boys of the family perform them as well. Now we're going to come to John Suarez sand meditation. And this is made with sand from different parts of the world. Sometimes I work with sand on the beach. Sometimes I work with sand from the desert. Sometimes I work with sand from a quarry. And sand from different parts of the world and even different beaches are completely different. They work differently. They have different, I want to say, balance of the elements as well within them. Some beaches are more earth, some beaches are more water. You know, the desert sand has more air in it. The quarry sand, like the ones they use at US sand sculpting events, is all very earthy sand. So, and because of that, there's elemental qualities. They also flow differently. The way you work with them is very different as well. So John Suarez sand meditation weaves very organic processes, techniques, along with contemporary techniques. There is the creation of the sculpting, it's a flow of energy. There's no pre-visualization, no thought. It's not a repetition of pre-learned, patterns. It's all created in the moment, and it's offered as an experience, such as what we call the sand meditation sessions, and also as a physical art form. Sometimes we retain those sculptures, sometimes we let them go. Sometimes, the creations are very universal, which then I call series, basically. And they are select artworks that have almost a very similar tone to them and depth to them. And when the energy changes, it's almost like a new depth and colors change, and then new series start basically being created. And I do share those at the gallery, whereas whenever we do the one-of-a-kind personally aligned artwork, those aren't shared. Those are very personal and only at the homes of the people that I create them for. So we talked about the different ways that this work is created. One thing that is a common theme for people who experience both the art gallery, as we call it, the space, and the sand meditation experience themselves, always share a common theme of deep relaxation, insight, peace, gratitude. And just to highlight this a little bit more, when perception opens, transformation happens effortlessly. Now I'm just going to take a moment to show you what I mean with an exercise. I want you to all take your right hand and put it on your right eye. Okay. Now I want you to, just using with your left eye, just look around the room, wherever you are. Okay. Now I want you to open your right hand and look around the room with both of your eyes. So that's basically what insight is and what perception opening is, really, in a very specific way. You already have the capacity, but we don't use it, right? When we don't use it, it's not there. And somehow through this work, as with many other modalities that are available to us, that perception opens. And when that perception opens, we can actually utilize more of what we have and also enjoy a much broader view. So the artist for John Suarez sand meditation is currently me, for now. So who's willing to learn? That is my question. So I'd like to now show you a little bit more of what I mean by what is sand meditation. And this will be let me just show you, a quick journey. So it's going to start, it's only 3 minutes. So I want you to just take it in. No thought, just noticing. And being comfortable with the silence. So I'm doing the stillness, do the talking. So let me just show you a little bit more visual of what a sand meditation may look like, because the art form, the physical art form comes from that. This was actually photographed in my previous gallery that was located in Malibu. And what I do is I create a sand space. So I don't have to work on the beach. I could be working on a sand space like that. I could be working on a piece of paper that has sand on it. And this was a person that was walking by on a date. And that's actually her date in the first photo, who was kind enough to allow her to have the experience. And 90 minutes later, it was a completely different person. These are just some photos. Some of you may recognize the bottom middle one actually was at the Suarez residence, when we had one of Peggy's beautiful sharings. She had invited me to be a part of that event. And each one of these sharings have been in different parts of the world and also created very much in the moment. So as you see, the setup at the bottom one actually requires 4 people to sit. That's also created through the intuitive preparation as it was leading up to the event. And when I received the 4 people that take the seat that day for their sand meditation and asking for that experience to be done for all of them at once, there was the answer of why there were these 4 seats created. So it's quite interesting. The sessions actually do start before they start, kind of like in a different, concurrent way. So the high-end contemporary art form is because it's a little bit more modern looking. It's very clean. It's very easy to display. And the physical art form comes from that sand meditation, processes I mentioned. So you'll see more examples of how it's done, because I wanted to have a visual of that is. Like a sand sculpture could be something like this. This is actually Redondo Beach. And through the painting process, it may become something like this. It could start like this. And then you'll see it may become something like this. I never know what it's going to be until it is completed. So there's no manipulation, no editing, just flow of energy. And then as soon as it's completed, I know the name, I know what it's for, and I keep learning more every day with the people interacting with them. I'll show you a little bit more visualization so you can see how they can be in different sizes. This is just to show you the fact that they can also be displayed differently in different angles. So when we work with people, they can select from the existing, what I call the universal series from the portfolio, or we can do the personally aligned art form for that person or the group or the space where we do the sand meditation together, and then create that one-of-a-kind art piece for them. Sometimes the media may change. I'm open always to listen whenever an invitation comes. This work has been all a part of that invitation. One of the things I should tell you is that I never said I want to be an artist. I asked the question, how can I be of service? And the fact that there was no attachment to the form in which that service would come through, I feel very much gave me the freedom to just allow it and be curious about it and to be open to exploring and just listening and deep listening, which also help, of course, deepen the practice of this work, which I'm very grateful for. So this is just another section detail that I thought you might be interested in seeing since we are on the Zoom. And of course, you're more than welcome to come visit me at the gallery so you can enjoy these beautiful creations in person. But it's very multidimensional. So you can look at it, it's actually flat, physically speaking, but it's a very multidimensional feeling. And when you look at it in terms of the multidimensions, there's so much more that we can share. And we will hopefully get into those maybe in the meditation workshops that we do. But there's so many layers to a human being that the more we're aware of those layers and the more we are actually working with them more consciously, then life seems to be more joyful and enjoyed differently. So working in different parts of the world, I have been also experiencing, as I mentioned, the different types of sand. And I just wanted to put together a little map that shows you the different places I've been so far, some quite remote places. And hopefully we will continue to travel more to touch all over the world, basically globally offer the service. There's some photos that I thought you might find joyful from different places that I've been. Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Maldives, and you'll see me lying down on sand. I don't have to do that all the time, sometimes only when I'm inspired. It's just a way of basically becoming no one as this creation flows through. So just a quick summary of our current offerings. We have sand meditations, the personally aligned art, universal art series, which I mentioned are more the portfolio, you call them the portfolio maybe series. Any special requests and custom creations, I'm very open to hearing what wants to be created and listening into that. I never say no, I'm always saying, let me meditate on it. And conscious creation workshops. So we offer them all worldwide. As the gallery, now the space serves both as a gallery and also a retreat center. So as the gallery, we offer all the things that your traditional gallery would offer. Art acquisition worldwide. We offer gift certificates. A lot of people purchase the art, including the sand meditation sessions, as gifts for their loved ones. Sometimes people actually receive the gift and then they want to gift another person. So it's quite a beautifully growing global community that is touched by this work. Art consultation, our focus is our focus. So whatever we have in the gallery is what we consult on, and the balance and the harmony of the space, the vision of the person, their intention, how everything aligns. That's what we focus on as far as the art consultation goes. We are not maybe the best way to put it is we keep our focus, and that's very important to us. Custom art forms, again, through meditation. So when we say custom, you can maybe describe a size, but just to give you an idea, I had a personally aligned art form created for someone, the sand meditation session we did, and we agreed on the size. We agreed it was going to be one piece, everything created. As the flow turns out, there were actually two pieces that were created. So I had what I call a reveal appointment where the participant comes in and reviews the art form before it's physically created as well, because they're all printed on metal, the final forms I should mention. And I did show her that the fact that there were two pieces created for her. And I asked her to pick one, or she could have both if she wanted, because the flow is the flow. We don't change it, we trust it. She loved them and she picked both. So she has them both now. And that's why we mean custom art forms, but still through meditation and only listening in to what wants to happen, not the structures of what we may have created. So white glove service for California select locations, and that includes packaging, delivery, installation. We do ship worldwide. Now, as the retreat center, most people who come into the space, they do burst in tears. That's not something that happens regularly to maybe other traditional stores in the mall, I would say. But we don't really operate like your traditional store. We happen to be, called an oasis in a most unexpected place. And it truly is that way. Because when people walk in, there's something so vast about them that they hadn't maybe touched before. And somehow this work and the space itself brings it out. And it does it so automatically that they just can't, hold their chairs. Some people are very comfortable with it. It's almost natural to them, and they tell me that they're home. So, depends on where we are in our journey. The work basically will meet you where you are. So as the retreat center, we offer now also conscious creation workshops that combine meditation with an art technique. We've done meditation with ceramic tiles, we've done meditation with mandala stones, and those are kind of fun ways that I'm going to get a little bit into just to inspire you more, and then we'll wrap this up. So it's also a meditation space where I do the community sand drawings so that it does not require a person to have a sand meditation session for themselves. They can just simply walk into the gallery and walk around or sit with the sand space that I've created, and basically have their own inner conversation or exchange with that particular drawing. And this happened actually just 2 days ago, very recently, where somebody did come and sit down, and on their way out, they asked me if they could, donate something or give money because they received so much out of it. Again, another thing that you don't see often, but we do see it because the work and this particular space was created for that. It's for all of us to come in and nourish ourselves and to enjoy, whether you're decorating or whether you're meditating, it's there for you. So I would encourage you to also come in and explore it. This is what we do when we turn the gallery into a studio, and we basically put together different tables, and we have all the tools, and we just do it on select dates and for select times, and then we take it all away so that it still continues to be a meditation space for people. So they are a personal retreat, the workshops we do, so you don't have to go travel far. You can create the time and space, and you can basically enjoy this in your very backyard, as you all live very close. And what we're doing in the conscious creation workshops is exactly what is being done through the actual art creation, the art form or the Zen meditation, which is learning and practicing, bringing inspiration into physical reality. And it's the most valuable practical skill that you can apply in all aspects of life. So consciousness informs itself through its creations. I have a wish for us as one. I'm going to read you one poem, which I will also send via PDF, so you can actually share it and hear it and practice it if you would like. May you exude joy through the sparkle of your eyes, through your whole being, so fully, so generously that everyone that comes in contact with you lights up like a million galaxies. May the weary find comfort in the curve of your smile, so completely that their face relaxes, their body relaxes, and they too remember their smile. May the perplexed, dazed, and confused find such solace in your voice, so instantly that the mental chatter and all tightness disappear. May all of your deeds come from inspiration. May all your actions be aligned with your high self, all of creation. May you love, may you love, may you love. May love permeate your being. May peace permeate your being. May love and peace permeate Mother Earth and all of creation. Now experiment with replacing you with I, and read this poem out loud to yourself when I send it to you. It's also printed on a beautiful, very long banner and is displayed in the gallery for everyone who wishes to come and read it out loud, which a lot of people do. It's right behind one of those walls. And that will be.
Thank you, Cansu. Yes, we have shared your information. So also I'll share that when you bring that, send me that PDF. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. I have to say that I visited the gallery last week, and it's funny when you showed the little bit of video even, and you said 3 minutes, but in silence. And one of the things that the first thing I wanted to say on Zoom was that, oh, am I supposed to be sharing sound, with this video I was looking, and then all of a sudden you said, in silence. And so then you have to consciously sit back and be in silence. And it was one of the things that I enjoyed going into the gallery. You had beautiful music playing, but at the same time, that was such a feeling of silence so that you could enjoy the whole experience and walk around. So that in itself is definitely a learned thing that we all need to do. It is very hard to learn that, especially if you don't know meditation and how to sit in silence. It is that is a practice that we all need to do every day. I agree. So
come on over whenever you like. We have many ways to help us do this. The thing is, like you said, Debbie, it's important it is practice, but it's also our natural state. So what's really unnatural is all the thoughts, and that's a lot of effort. So we're really learning to just be simpler in our being, but that simplicity is really profound. So whether when we surround ourselves with things that bring that out in us, that when we surround ourselves with people that bring that out in us, it's just really saying hello to yourself, right? That's all it is. It's just saying hello. Oh, I remember. Oh, I am much more than what I think I am, and then all of a sudden it becomes more natural. And when we get together, it's even faster.
Right. And there's been much more talk lately about things I've been reading about the constant chatter that's in our head that we create, that we have to keep pushing aside. And so that's a very important practice. I had a question, but I just want to open up to anybody else with questions first. Would anybody else have a question? Yes, Patty.
I don't have a question so much as just a reflection, is that there is something very meditative about playing with the sand. Because whenever I go to the beach, it's just, well, I'm a very restless person as it is, but just to be constantly moving the sand back and forth and pushing it and moving it. And it's very meditative and it's very relaxing. So I can just imagine how creating these bigger images must be very satisfying to people. I was going to ask you too, do you take images and then you add the color digitally? Is that how the color gets added on?
Yeah, see, it's not like I add color, it's literally light that weaves through. That would be an art technique to add color, but the way it works is truly there's different frequencies to each color and each tone of that color, and it's painted in that way digitally, as you said, but it's painted like a painter, with a brush. Yeah, but it's literally light weaving through the painting. Just like the sculptural part is the foundation, the painting part is the activation.
Anybody else have any comments or questions? Mickey? No?
Everybody's so relaxed, or?
I know.
That's great. Actually, I'm very happy that you guys, feel that way. And sometimes people come to the gallery and ask a lot of questions, and I always, respond seems like more with a question or a deeper question, and joke about the fact that we're not a gallery of answers, but more of a gallery of asking better questions. So
Well, the one question that kept coming up is that are you, and maybe this, I don't know, I know there's no silly questions, but are you creating the sand meditation with someone? Or are you when you do a one-on-one, are you guiding that person through their own meditation in the sand?
excellent question. So the way it works is a sand meditation session. We have an opening meditation. What that means is we, just like what we did actually at the beginning of this, sharing, where I ask you to follow your breath and to make sure that you're fully here and now before you could, listen to what I was, be able to absorb and receive what I was sharing.
Mhm.
And we do a similar thing because sometimes, it could be really busy in our head. So we want to be fully available to that sharing. So that's why we do an opening meditation. And that could vary in terms of the content and the time, depending on the person, and also depending on the group, if I'm working with a group. Some people very fast, some people longer, and there's no right or wrong. It's just where we are in that moment, because another day you may be different, And so after that opening meditation, when, basically we feel ready, the drawings start flowing through me into the sand. And sometimes there's so many different ways that can happen. Sometimes I may ask the person to physically interact with the sand, sometimes not. Sometimes I photograph those drawings, sometimes I do not. Those are all related to whatever the experience is in that, moment. Sometimes we could be working through something just similar to what I've, shared with you with the different cultures and how they've been used. Sometimes we're just celebrating, just like what the different cultures been using too. So it could be, what's really amazing is that it's very precise, always very, very precise. And it's very unique to that moment's creation. And you'll see different elements also playing. Sometimes air elements could be really, really, strongly, powerfully pleasant. So you may actually hear the wind physically, or you may, have other interesting ways that it's expressed. Because I won't get into this a lot, but all the elements represent different aspects of life. So we are using them, whether we know it or not, all the time, as we are creating, whether we know it or not, all the time. So if you have inspiration, you want to get something started, for example, that's fire. If you're in your emotions, that's water. If you're in your air, that's a lot of thoughts, thinking. If you're doing something physical in the world, you want to bring something out into the world, you're working with earth. And the thing is, when you work with sand, the way that I'm working with, or all the elements, you are working with all the elements. And when they are in balance and they're working at their highest potential, then you are working with your highest potential. And that's the magic of being alive, that we have this amazing gift that we can do that.
Right. Well, thank you so much. I invite everyone to definitely stop by the gallery and have that experience. And now that you've given such a great presentation, I think it will definitely have more meaning when people walk in. They'll know exactly, and take your time to go around and read the beauty of each painting. So thank you, Cansu, so much from wherever you are, from wherever you're talking to us from.
Mystery place. I'm in Florida.
You're in Florida. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much. How is the wind in Florida right now?
There is none.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yes.
Oh,
I wish
well,
you the same. Peaceful, beautiful. I'm very, very honored to see you all again. Thank you again for inviting me.
thank you. Thank
We
you
look
so
forward
much
to
for
seeing
speaking
you all.
to us tonight. Thank you so much. It's so appreciated. We're going to go into